Good morning, I hope everyone's well today. We had President Trump over in the UK over the past few days. He's been up to his golf courses up in Scotland. And it makes you a bit envious of the United States because they've actually got somebody who's implementing the manifesto that they were elected on. They've stopped the southern invasion from Mexico into the United States, and they've done it all within a few months of being in power. So when you get our leaders and you get our European counterparts not being able to control our borders, it's a stark contrast and it's sickening to behold. The first thing I want to do is I want to play a couple of clips about the Donald, and I'll pause when we go through them. But it is sickening. It is sickening because it's either by design or they're just pretending to be that stupid, our leaders, that is like Keir Starmer and his cabinet. Either they are pretending to be that stupid or they know exactly what they're doing.
Well, I say two things to Europe. Stop the windmills. You're ruining your countries. I really mean it. It's so sad. You fly over and you see these windmills all over the place, ruining your beautiful fields and valleys and killing your birds.
He really does hate the windmills. He's not alone there. They're not cost effective, and we all hate the windmills. And we're going to continue with the clip. Let's just see.
If they're stuck in the ocean, ruining your oceans, stop the windmills. And there's a couple of things I could say, but on immigration, you better get your act together. You're not going to have Europe anymore. You got to get your act together. And we, as you know, last month we had nobody entering our country. Nobody. Shut it down. And we took out a lot of bad people that got there with Biden. Biden was a total stiff. And what he allowed to happen, but you're allowing it to happen to your countries.
Just to be clear, Mr. President, we're not allowing it. Our elected leaders are making it happen. They could stop the small boats tomorrow, which I'll go into later in the clip. They could do it immediately. Snap at the fingers and it'll be done. It's pretty much as simple as that. You've proven that in the United States. Other countries that aren't in the West control their borders, and they're not even democracies. So yes, Mr. President, it is completely possible. You are completely correct. It's our spineless, gutless leaders that are allowing it to happen. And I think there's many people on the cottage industry, of asylum seekers, illegal immigration. All of these people have to be put up in hotels for some reason, and all of these people have to have asylum claims processed. They need lawyers. All of this costs money. How many people are getting backhanders and how many people are making money hand over fist to keep this billion-pound industry going? It's not about sovereignty at this point. It's about keeping this cottage industry of illegal immigration open so anybody who can make a profit does make a profit.
And you got to stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe, many countries in Europe. Some leaders have not let it happen. And
Poland, for example. Poland is the exemplar for the European continent. We should have a similar, if not identical, policy to Poland.
They're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones. But
embarrass away, Mr. President. We all know the names. We all know who you're referring to. Least of all, to Turkey and the no-marks that are running the Republic of Ireland.
Stop. This immigration is killing Europe. And the other thing, stop the windmills.
Completely agree with both of those points. Stop the illegals and stop the windmills. Anybody in the United Kingdom who supports that platform, you know what to do. Vote reform. And then we have another clip where basically it's a more elaborate clip than the one we've just had. Most of the points are the same, but again I'll pause in between.
I'll say this, they did ask me when I got off the plane, immigration, Europe has a tremendous problem, and we do too, but we've sealed our borders. We have nobody coming in, and we have hundreds of thousands of people being taken out, and the bad ones first, and I think we're doing a very good job of that. But we had I mean, it literally registered 0 people last month.
0 people on a large land border with Mexico. Just think about it, if they actually had a moat, a built-in waterway between them and the next country, how much easier it would be for the Donald to have the military in that body of water, stopping people at gunpoint from entering the United States illegally. Imagine if he had a moat. We could only wish we have a moat in the United Kingdom. Oh no, we have. We've actually got a moat. We could stop it immediately at gunpoint with our military.
Probably so that nobody. And Europe has a very similar problem. I think they're going to end up in the same place. You might as well go there quicker.
Completely agree. We might be 10 years behind the United States, but we could get there immediately. We just need the political will to do it. It's not about international law at this point, it's about protecting our own security. Nothing is more important than protecting your own national security. If you're getting people, undocumented fighting age men, breaking into your country, not respecting our culture, our values, our women and children, our wildlife, the way we do things in the United Kingdom, they don't get any benefit of any doubt. Ship them off. Not interested. Donald's got the right idea in the United States, and the European continent, and the United Kingdom both need to do the same.
And the other thing I say to Europe, we will not allow a windmill to be built in the United States. They're killing us. They're killing the beauty of our scenery, our valleys, our beautiful plains. And I'm not talking about airplanes. I'm talking about beautiful plains, beautiful areas in the United States. And you look up and you see windmills all over the place. It's a horrible thing. It's the most expensive form of energy. It's no good. They're made in China, almost all of them. When they start to rust and rot in 8 years, you can't really turn them off. You can't bury them. They won't let you bury the propellers, you know, the props, because there's a certain type of fiber that doesn't go well with the land. That's what they say. The environmentalists say you can't bury them because the fiber doesn't go well with the land. In other words, if you bury it, it will harm our soil. The whole thing is a con job. It's very expensive. And in all fairness, Germany tried it, and wind doesn't work. You need subsidy for wind, and energy should not need subsidy.
Completely agree. If the renewables was financially viable, if the renewables was able to make its own money off its own back, I don't think many people would have a problem with it. Who doesn't want cleaner energy? Who doesn't want more efficient energy? Everybody wants that, of course, definitely, but it shouldn't be at a cost to the taxpayer. If these private companies that are making the money making all of these wind farms and solar farms in the United Kingdom, if they're so confident with the technology, if they're so confident with that, it shouldn't need government subsidy at all. They can subsidise it themselves. Let's see how fast they go out of business.
With energy, you make money. You don't lose money. But more important than that is it ruins the landscape. It kills the birds.
The Green parties all over the world are silent on this point. What's the collateral damage for these wind farms? All the birds, all the wildlife that get killed by these propellers. Remarkably, the silence on that. Immaterial to them, they don't actually care. As always, they're more interested in their pet projects, like making sure that men can go to the toilet in women's spaces. That seems to be a big, big issue for the Green Party for some reason.
They're noisy. You have a certain place in the Massachusetts area that over the last 20 years had 1 or 2 whales wash ashore, and over the last short period of time, they had 18. Okay? Because it's driving them loco. It's driving them crazy. Now, windmills will not come. It's not going to happen in the United States. And it's very expensive. And I would love to see. I mean, today I'm playing the best course, I think, in the world, Turnberry. Even though I own it, it's probably the best course in the world, right? And I look over the horizon and I see 9 windmills. It's like right at the end of the 18th. I said, isn't that a shame? What a shame. You have the same thing all over Europe in particular. You have windmills all over the place. Some of the countries.
That's the thing with the windmills as well. It's not that they are expensive and you can't recycle them. They do absolutely decimate the areas of outstanding natural beauty that we have in Britain. When you get the train up to Scotland and you go through the borders and the lowlands, they're just all over the place and they are monstrosities. They do nothing at all for the environment. Probably just make a lot of people a lot of money that are in it on the grift. Again, that's just my opinion. Your mileage may vary on that point.
Is prohibited, but people ought to know that these windmills are very destructive. They're environmentally unsound, just the exact opposite. Because the environmentalists, they're not really environmentalists, they're political hacks.
They are political hacks. We know all about that. We've got a Miliband in charge, and he is an absolute psychopath. I don't understand how anybody can believe anything that he says. He's completely inauthentic, disingenuous, and we didn't want him as Prime Minister, and we don't want him in charge of our environmental policy either, because he is a laughing stock, and he can't even eat a bacon butty.
These are people that they almost want to harm the country. But you look at these beautiful landscapes all over the world. Many countries have gotten smart. They will not allow it. They will not. It's the worst form of energy, the most expensive form of energy. But windmills should not be allowed. Okay.
So we'll leave that one there. I think you'll agree with the Donald. Plain speaking, upfront, completely transparent, calling Europe out on its BS. We could sort the borders tomorrow, not just the United Kingdom, but the continent of Europe as well. Greece have got the right idea currently. They are sorting their border issue. But it's as simple as that. We can sort it immediately if we wanted to. And then we go on to the no mark that was on GB News yesterday morning. And we'll just compare and contrast. Night and day. One seems to be very good at politics and he's not a politician. And we've got a career politician for the Labour Party who was on GB News yesterday morning, and he can't really string a sentence together. He knows that his time is over. He knows that the Unit Party is over. We need rapid, radical change in this United Kingdom, and we're not going to get it from Labour or the Tories.
But we spoke about this earlier, actually, to Stephen and Dawn, who were presenting the breakfast show. The statistics on prosecutions of small boat facilitators are really quite damning for Labour. Prosecutions have fallen by more than 60% in your first year in office. Meanwhile, we've got record number of illegal immigrants entering on small boats, up to 33,000 between July 2024 and June 2025. Can't be blamed on the Tories. And then we've got just 446 individuals charged with an immigration offence between that period. That's just 1% of those crossing on small boats. So you're not smashing the gangs. In fact, the gangs are having a smashing time under Labour, aren't they?
No, look, we know that the issue with small boat crossings, with the asylum backlog, is something that is really important to people across Britain, and we're determined to crack it.
How are you going to crack it though? Are you going to put the military in the English Channel? Are you going to make sure that nobody who crosses the Channel is given leave to remain? That would solve the problem almost immediately. Once the message gets out that nobody coming over is staying, the problem is solved. At the moment, the British government is actually complicit in this crime, and they are actually the final link in the smuggling gangs chain. So if you were to look at it objectively, you would say that the British government is actually part of the smuggling gangs, because their policy is enabling the crime to continue. That's what I would say. The British government is equally guilty, because they are allowing it to happen. They are hiding under the pretense of international law, because they think international law supersedes British law, and they think international law comes above and beyond the first duty of a government, which is to keep its own people safe.
And
But hang on,
there's-
James Murray, hang on, the rhetoric isn't matching the statistics I'm giving you. Let's just make it really simple, and I'm going to put it like this. Illegal migration into the UK has risen by 50%, 50% under Labour. In what world can you saying we're smashing the gangs, we're dealing with illegal migration be true if I've just given you that figure?
in the world where, as has happened in the last year, 35,000 people with no right to be here have been deported.
The 35,000 people that had no right to be here were not illegal migrants. The illegal migrants are given rights to remain, disproportionately higher than our European counterparts. The people that are being told to leave, not told, asked to leave, are being paid to leave, and generally speaking, they are overstayers on visas, either worker or student visas, and they are given a bung to leave. And there's nothing to stop them from taking the money, leaving the United Kingdom, and coming back on another visa and getting paid to do it again. There's nothing stopping that. Do not be fooled by what the Labour Party says. They are being completely dishonest, and you need to call them out on the bullshit, which is what I'm doing here.
Where asylum decisions have doubled, where we're bringing down the number of asylum hotels.
You're bringing down the number of asylum hotels by shutting the smaller hotels, opening larger hotels. When they shut down the asylum hotels for public use, by the way, they make people unemployed because they sack all of the people that are working at the hotels. So they're out fending for themselves to get new jobs, and they bring in their own people, and then it's run as a government business. In addition to that, what they are also doing is buying up or leasing long-term from private landlords properties that otherwise would be going to native British people, people who are students and need student accommodation, or other people that are desperately in need in the United Kingdom. That's what he's not saying. So he can say that the number is decreased or is decreasing, but as always, the detail behind the spin is what you need to pay attention to.
Where we're making progress with our borders bill going through Parliament, where we're having international agreements with France and Germany to smash the gangs on their international networks. All of that. The thing about the problem with immigration and the level of asylum seekers is that it is a big problem where there is no single switch.
There is a single switch. You put the people already in here in military camps, in tents. I don't care if it looks like what did in World War II. They're broken into the country, they have no right to be here, they need to be moved on. They don't get benefits, they don't get a penny of my taxpayers' money. That's not fair on the people that are paid into the system their whole life. If France can have them in tents, and other European countries can have them in tents as well, we can do the same here. The military should be in the English Channel, stopping people entering the country. And these tented communities, we'll call them tented communities, it sounds better. They'd be on an island, not on the mainland United Kingdom, maybe a Scottish island that's uninhabited, or one of the Isles of Scilly, alright? And you can give them a tent and a bottle of water, and they can jog on. Once the people breaking into the country see that's what's in store for them, they'll soon stop. They'll deport themselves. I should be in the government with these policies. I should be in the government with these policies. I've solved the problem. No spin from me. I'll just tell it as it is. I'll spit facts at you.
But we spoke about...
Anyway, we'll leave that one there. He rabbits on a little bit. That's all they've got. Nobody buys that they can't stop the people coming over from the channel. The Donald done it straight away in the United States. We could do the same here. This is what I really love about the Donald when he goes on TV. He shows up the career politicians for what they are, which is an embarrassment, not only to the officers they are meant to represent, but to the country at large. It's completely unfair on anybody that's lived in the United Kingdom, is proud of our country, knows what we did in the past, and what we can do in the future if we had the political people that we need in power. Anyway, these are just my thoughts. If you think that Donald is onto something, and we should be taking his lead, let me know. I think it's a no-brainer. As always, you may disagree. I invite you to disagree. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later on today. Have a good day.